Tonight, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
Taking it about the 36. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play. And immediately.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. O.J. Howard. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3-and-out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3-and-out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Rosas' kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip.
Vikings 10.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater now. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
1st and 10. At their own 23-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
15.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Ronald Jones, the ball.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
2nd and 6. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
48-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
And 8.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Caught left side. It's Beckham.
The pass.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
He was brought down at the 10-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Third down.
First carry for Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter play. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Aldrich Rosas on for the field goal. A 23-yard attempt.
Rosas' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
13.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays, and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with the crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and it's 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offense.
It got his man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Kamara. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
by DeMarcus Lawrence.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line.
Their own.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
1st down.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Complete.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Holding defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Rosa's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game.
16, Packers nothing.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Fighting Hilton on the slant. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First down, Bridgewater. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
Bridgewater's
that catch good for only a couple. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
Bridgewater's pass.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll throw again. Bridgewater firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
It's 4th down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando. That came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, They don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Rosas to add the extra point.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Aldrich Rosas set to kick
Now
off.
after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
Bridgewater sacked. A fumble on the play.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Carrier.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots, They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot, versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Flush to his right. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's on Kelechi Osemele, the guard. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. And now look at him go.
Bring it! Bring it!
And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
The ball carrier.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At the 2-yard line.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
34-yard line.
Bridgewater on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Davion Taylor coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Bridgewater. Oh, and Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off near the 34.
Bridgewater's pass intercepted by the Vikings.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you can cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
It's now 2nd and 10.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Call it a gain of 14 for the 2nd play in a row.
47-yard line.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down. And again, it's Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another 1st down. Running the sweep, Hilton with it. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give him credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. A you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
First down, Vikings.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man.
Complete.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
16 yards. And the Vikings first down.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
32 on the carry.
A gain of 3, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Tonight's final score.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they